And we're back.
Premier League and Pints talking about game week 8. Game week 8.
Game week
8. I'm
Game
like
week 8.
90% sure it's
Game week 8.
With all the crap going on and then international break this weekend, I don't know where the hell we are anymore.
Can we all take a second to collectively boo international breaks?
It's fucking terrible. Honestly, I show no love.
I say
for that.
collectively boo.
Boo.
There we go.
Hey.
What were you going to say?
Huh?
That's all I had to say.
Okay.
No love for
Wait, you
international
booed it
break.
or we're... Huh?
No love for an international break.
I don't
That's
think
for sure.
No one likes international break, although I'm very happy because these fellas right here talking. Oh, by the way, we're missing Dan.
Oh,
There's only
yeah.
3 of us.
Dan's at work.
Hi, Dan.
We were going to do this at Dan's office, but his office is a brewery, so...
And he...
Which would have went along with the Pints theme, too, for you fair.
Yeah, it would have been kind of cool. I don't know if they would let us do this in there, though. They probably wouldn't be very happy.
We would have just gotten a table and sat down.
With
and-
microphones?
With
Yeah.
microphones, a laptop, and a camera.
Well, maybe we might have had the 86, maybe the camera, but...
I mean, it's good exposure for them. Fuck it.
Yeah. No, they wouldn't.
To our
listen.
tens of listeners, they would have loved it.
Whoa. Our tens of 20s.
Tens of 20s of listeners.
Yeah, we have all you.
All right.
All right,
Let's
back
get
on
into games.
topic.
Oh, we were never. You can't get back on topic. We were never on topic.
So I believe we did our last episode before the Luton-Burnley matchup.
That is correct.
Right, which we pretty much talked about being a battle of relegation.
Yeah.
And based on that, Luton's going down.
Are people talking outside?
All right.
Oh, whatever.
Burnley wins 2-1 in a promotion battle.
Yeah.
It was actually a closer game than I thought. I thought Burnley was going to handily kind of take this one, and I was wrong. It was a close game, decent possession, both back and forth, pretty even.
This game was rigged.
Why? Is it
The league
rigged?
just wants to see Luton go down. I don't know why.
No, I think Luton's just bad.
No. They just don't want to see me hit my bold take for the year.
Listen, you doomed that team from the start.
I didn't do shit. Yeah, I did. I fucked them. God damn it. Wait. Never mind.
Okay. Foster
And-
scores into halftime, right before halftime, and then Luton equalized in the 84th. Burnley come back in the 85th just to destroy all hopes of those points being secured. And yeah, so this is not looking good for Luton, I think is the moral.
I feel like we could talk about both these teams a little bit more at their current match day. So let's move this on.
Yeah, so this real quick. This
That was
game
just kind of a throw-in.
Yeah, this game was technically match week
2.
Yeah, but
2.
it fell under match week 7 apparently.
Yeah.
That's where they listed all the results on the website. I don't know.
All right.
Anyway,
So then I believe we go up to...
the first game was
Luton Spurs.
yeah, baby.
kind of a boring game.
I thought it was going to be a bloodbath.
Well, it started out looking that way. Do you remember the beginning?
Yeah, so Spurs looked dominant. They looked intense. They looked like everything was going towards the ball. For Charleston was a little bit better. He probably would have had 2-3 goals in the first half. Madison had a couple nice chances. And then double yellow from a flop from Basuma.
A very obvious flop.
A
You know
very
what?
obvious flop. And
You
I
know
would
what?
say this is probably the only call the refs get right all weekend.
You know
They're
what?
good on the ref for actually pulling the card.
I was just going to say, like, I know like a big thing they're cracking down on is like the time wasting and stuff. And we've seen a lot of yellow cards for that. But like known around the world, like in soccer, oh, everyone flops, everyone dives. You know what? Get it out of the game. I fucking love it, ref. And for that to be the second yellow is fucking awesome. Like he's not taking shit. Like, okay, bye. See ya.
Yeah, and he called the game fair, regardless of who was on booking or not already.
Yeah.
But
we said at the same time.
I know
It was
we did.
crazy. But the most obvious goal scorer in this one, we all saw it coming. Mickey Van de Ven. We all had that one. Right?
It was an expertly worked corner, going short to Madison. Madison with a beautiful turn, no pressure on his back, looks up and a nice little like he runs like takes a step forward and then takes a step back just to throw the defender, and he opens his body up beautifully. Left foot passes it right in the back of the net, and I mean it was a poacher's goal from a center back. Gotta love to see it.
Yeah, and then we all kind of said, I think, in the moment, it's like, you know, if you're going to go a man down to a team and still win, it's sadly probably going to be Luton.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And they carry out a 1-0 victory and still, being a man down the entire second half, still had 67% possession.
And Luton is a man up here at home.
Yeah.
A whole half, you think, all right, maybe the fans get behind them. They something gets sparked.
This is the second time, right?
Yeah,
They've been a
touched the
man
ball.
up and have still not secured points.
Yeah.
What was the other game?
The Arsenal game?
Was it Arsenal?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of it right now. But this is the second time they've played a man up and didn't get
I don't know.
a win.
All the
You're talking about this is the second time Luton
Luton's
played a
been
man
a
up?
man up. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
they all the games start to blur together after a while.
I don't have the fast fingers to check this, but
I think so. And if not, tell me
I
I'm
would-
wrong.
I would say
tell us in the
that
comments.
For me, Spurs never looked like they were going to lose this game. I thought, if anything, they would get a 0-0 tie. Even with the man down, they looked dangerous. But Spurs are starting to look like a good team, and good teams win games. It doesn't look pretty always. Stuff happens, and, they don't always get the best result, the best-looking result, and I thought that they did really well today. Or last week.
That day.
That day, sorry.
Do you want to move to Fulham Chef?
Fulham has a chef. That's sweet. Good for them.
Yeah,
His name's Bob.
the only thing I really have to say about this
What's wrong with
is, get well soon to Chris Basham. That injury looked
Oh.
freaking terrible.
I forgot about it until you just said it
Yeah,
because it was last
dude,
weekend.
I was so when the Saturday games were on the 10 o'clocks, I was driving, and I only had the United game on my phone, so I didn't see anything. So after I get back in the car to drive home, and I'm like, let me just scroll through Twitter real quick. I pull it up, and that picture's the first thing that pops up on my Twitter, and I want to vomit.
Well, the best is not the best, but Twitter did give the hey, sensitive content warning, and when it gives you that, it's not going to be pretty.
Don't click on it. But this game with 2 own goals, kind of funny.
2 own goals, and and the fact that Willian is still like a productive
thing.
player is
Yeah.
just
He's
shocking
very
to
hit
me.
and miss. I had him last year in fantasy. He's either hot or cold every game.
I feel like that's how he's been his whole career, other than his actual good stint.
That's
Since
that's
he's
fair.
been at Arsenal, I think he's been as hit or miss as there is a player in the Premier League.
That's a fair point. But yeah, I mean, I think Fulham at home
Should win this game.
Yeah, I think we all expect them to take all 3 points here. And I mean, they do just that.
Yeah, Fulham up to 12th now, even on points with Chelsea in 11th. Just the goal difference is what's killing them.
Yeah,
And only 1 point behind United in 10th. So they're right there at the
that's
top
not
half of
hard
the table.
That's not hard to be far
Yeah.
behind us. Other than that, I really don't have much else on this game.
No.
I know. I just feel for, Chris Basham, and I think it was Tim Reed that did that tackle. That's a tough challenge, and I
Yeah.
hope that he gets better.
Piece of shit American.
He's 35 years old. That might,
We were
that
saying
very
might
well could be the end of his career. Or at least his playing career at this level, then, necessarily.
Exactly. Hate to see
Yeah, you really do. All right, what's next?
that. Burnley Chelsea.
Oh, I wanted them to lose so bad.
Well, we were watching the game and we're like, oh no, Burnley scores 15 minutes in.
Brian, let me paint you this picture. We're watching the
Hang
game.
on. Okay, I'm ready.
We're watching the game at a bar.
Yeah, I know the bar.
You know the bar.
I know it quite well.
And we're sitting next to a Chelsea fan. The bar is loaded with Chelsea fans.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Absolutely loaded with Chelsea
Yeah.
fans. And we're talking to a bunch of other people in the bar, and we're going, this is the game. They can do this. And then Burnley go up. And me and Garrett don't celebrate. We don't do anything except for hysterically laugh at
Oh my
all the
God.
Chelsea fans. Like, we actually break out in full-on laugh.
Full on belly laugh, lean back in the stool.
Jesus.
It was comical. Like, the first 20 minutes was just hilarious of that game. And honestly, Burnley were in it for the first 20 minutes. Like, what didn't look like Chelsea was dominating.
Yeah.
They definitely had more of the ball, and they looked a little more dangerous, but like it looked very ebb and flow. Like Burnley were going to get some opportunities. And then once that own goal kind of happened, it just twisted the nail, and Chelsea stepped it up a gear, which is kind of what you were hoping they would do all season.
Well,
And then-
it's the fact they've been playing well. They just couldn't score, which is what we've said on here so many times. And now, finally, they seem to, at least for this game week, have broken that spell of being able to put the ball in the net. I mean, they scored 4 in this game. One's a pen, one's an own goal. But the ball's in the net, the ball's in the net. I'm sure Chelsea fans are finally giving some type of sigh of relief that they can finally score. How about Cole Palmer, taking the penalty for Chelsea after only being there for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, how old is he?
He's,
21.
doesn't say 21.
Yeah, so I mean, to see him step up, take a penalty on the road, you're not with the team long. I think he knew in the back of his mind that, wow, Brian picked me up in fantasy this week and he started me, and he wanted to do it for me. So I'm gonna take credit for that one. So thanks, Cole Palmer.
As a former City player, though, he has looked really good for Chelsea.
He's looked great.
I think that just shows you how hard it is to break into City's lineup, that he can go to Chelsea and look pretty as a solid player, and he could barely get time at City for 2-3 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I said for a while. Like they had, I mean, now City. I mean, they still do, but the depth's dropping off a little bit for them because of this. Because you see players like Cole Palmer go somewhere else where they could play in any other team. It's just City's starting 11 is just so good that I think these depth guys are starting to realize their value and that they're going to be able to go somewhere else. And City's probably also realizing hey, we can get something out of these guys. So you like to see it.
And just on top of that, what a great team goal that was from Burnley. They got that ball and they passed it
really nice.
Prime City. And I think if you have a right-footed right back in that Chelsea back line, they make the tackle there.
We did talk about the double lefts there.
Yeah, because Cucurella's left-footed playing on the right side. And when he steps to that ball, that, of course I don't know how to pronounce his name, Wilson Oberdurt. That's not right.
First of all, there's a D before a B, so if at anything
Odebert.
that would have been a better bad pronunciation.
Wilson Odebert. When he hits that, you can see Cucurella kind of almost steps a little bit with his left foot when he should be stepping closer with his right. Just the way he's angled, and it doesn't. He looks uncomfortable the way he's set up over there. And
you know what else he looks like? He needs a haircut. That's what he looks like.
I love his hair. Don't talk bad about his hair.
I'm with you, Garrett.
I think he needs a haircut.
Yeah, I agree.
But he just looked so uncomfortable stepping up there. He wanted to step closer with his left, but he should have stepped with his right. And I think that if you have a right-sided, if you have Reece James there, he makes a tackle there, hands down. Or at least he gets tight enough that he gets a deflection, or the guy puts his head down and maybe shoots it wide.
Yeah, fair point. But yeah, Chelsea, after going the entire month of September not getting a Premier League goal,
they got some in October.
Yeah, they're finding their way a little bit. So good on them.
Also, real quick before we move on, Broha did start over Jackson here, and then Jackson got subbed on, and then finally scored. So kind of fun.
Hey, he's not a starter. He's more of a sub. He's an impact player. He likes to come off the bench.
We will move on to United Brentford. Brian, you can talk about this one.
Well, this was it was a fun ending. So I think right off the bat, United they came out. They were okay. You could see they kind of had a little bit of possession. They went on to press, and then the spell that Brentford gets, their spell of possession in that first half. They have the ball for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. The shot comes in. Fucking Onana's so bad. So bad.
Lindelof should make that clearance to start.
Yes.
Also true.
Lindelof should have made the clearance. I think he went at it with his wrong foot.
He didn't really have a choice. He had pressure on. He's got to hit that with his left foot, and he hits it like a pansy.
Yeah, he shanks the hell out of it. He hits it super weak.
He hits it like a pansy.
Oh, he
does.
did.
That's how he hits it.
Such a good line.
He did.
What are you doing?
I want to light this up.
The battery's probably in our fucking...
For those listening, there's a light-up skull on our desk
Happy
for Halloween, and Clayton was wanting to play with it.
I want, for the people who are watching, they could see the lights at them, but all right, whatever. Sorry. Go on.
Continue.
Anyway, De Gea makes that save 10 times out of 10. Onana is just... He's pretty good with his feet at times. At times. Didn't say this season. I said at times.
When he was with Inter.
Yeah. Well, that
times.
That's a different situation.
It's a different time, Garrett.
I'll say this, and this is not good for a keeper. I think he's better with his feet than he is as a shot stopper. He he made one good save in the second half where he tipped one over the bar. Other than that, he fucking stinks. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on.
According to FootMob, he made 2 saves the entire game.
Wow, great. Anyway,
shout out to FootMob, good app.
Yeah, great app.
Great app.
Sponsors. I think it. We get into later parts of the game, probably 60th minute, 70th minute. Rashford comes off. He has been non-existent.
I figured out why he's terrible.
Okay, wait.
Why?
Yeah, we got to pause this.
So
Let's hear it.
I think it's because he doesn't have Luke Shaw behind him. Because when Luke Shaw has been hurt, it's been Amrabat, who's tucking into the midfield, Lindelof, who's not an outside back, he gets up, but he's not getting up the same way an outside back would. I think because Rashford doesn't have that overlapping run or that underlapping run or that kind of support, he doesn't have the defenders committing one way or another. So when he drives, without Luke Shaw making that overlapping run, he looks like an idiot.
I
Because
mean,
he loses the
looks
ball,
like an idiot.
or he dribbles out of bounds, and then he gets upset because he's in his own head and he's not playing well, and then he doesn't track back, or someone's still telling him not to track back. But when he has Luke Shaw, he looks, especially all of last season when he looked very good, he's very threatening because he's got that burst of pace and he's got that enough skill where, okay, the defenders took a half step that way to cover the pass to Shaw. Now I go this way and I can get in on goal. Or, okay, I can give the ball to Shaw. The defender's not moving to me, and he could do that 1-2.
Here's a fun Rashford game that wasn't really planned, but is he a top 10 winger?
Absolutely not.
no, and we didn't hear the end of that, by the way, because you moved your mic.
Oh, is he a top 10 winger in the league anymore?
No.
Top 10?
No.
Don't know if I would have ever put him in top 10.
Is he top?
I would have at one point. Definitely not now. He would have been like 8 or 9, but no, he's not right now.
Is he top 20?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like
Mid teens.
15, 16, I'd say.
Let's just throw some names: Sterling or Rashford.
Sterling has
Uh,
consistently done it every year.
Yeah.
That's fair. What's a comparable?
You could do Jack Grealish.
Bowen or Rashford?
I think that if Bowen was playing for a bigger club, if he was playing for Spurs or an Arsenal or United, this would be a non-starter, and we would say Bowen, absolutely. But
Yeah.
because he's playing for West Ham, and I mean he's got one more European trophy than Rashford does, but because he's playing for West Ham, I don't think that we rate him as much. I think I would still give it. Oh, that's tough. I think I'd still give it to Bowen.
Man, you guy.
Rashford. I don't know. I just think when he's on, like, he's on. Like,
But he hasn't been on.
But if you're telling me who am I picking, I'm gonna still take.
That's
Rashford.
like you're trying to turn the light on in the room, but there's no electric running to the house. Like what? Like you can't do that.
Guys, fucking metaphors, man.
I like that one.
Can I finish talking
Yeah,
the fucking
I'm
game?
sorry, you've been
All right.
derailed.
Miguel Almiron or Rashford?
Rashford. I'd give Rashford. That
Yeah,
one.
you're Rashford.
I love Miggy with all my heart, but I think Rashford out nudges him there.
Okay, we can move on now.
So yeah, we make a bunch of changes between the 60th and the 70th minute. Like I said, Rashford's one of them. I think bringing on Eriksson was a great move. Gave us some creativity in the middle of the field. And then obviously, just as we drew it up, we bring on one of the best Manchester United players to ever exist, Scott McTominay, because we all think he's like this. He's the best goal scorer in the world apparently. He comes on, and the first goal again, I think it was kind of similar to Brentford's goal, where they just couldn't get the ball out. I think who is it? Is it Delo who gets a shot away, and it gets parried back out, and McTominay's just there, and he just kind of hits it on like a weird bobbling half volley, and it finds the back of the net somehow. And then we go into the 96th minute.
I just want to point out, so Clayton had left already at this point, but me and Dan at this point, we're now watching this game at the bar. And obviously there's a lot of United fans there. There's not a lot of Brentford people around us. And they score that goal, the first goal, and I literally looked at Dan dead in the eyes, and he can corroborate this maybe next week. And I go, they're going to win. I go, they're 100% going to win.
No shit.
I swear to God, you ever get that feeling like another one's coming?
I call bullshit till I hear it from Dan.
I wish we could get him on like FaceTime, right? Because I looked him dead in the eyes.
Would he answer if I FaceTimed him?
No, he's at work.
No, he's at work.
He's bartending.
I would answer.
But yeah, I swear to dead to rights, looked him in the eyes and said they're going to win. And 3 minutes fucking later, they scored again.
We go into the 96th. They owe 6 minutes of added time. And they just float up a free kick. And Harry Maguire just nods it down in like the perfect place. McTominay gets there, header off the post and in. And, I just talked shit about him before, but it was like Onana comes running up to celebrate. A lot of the times, goalies will stay on their own and celebrate, even in like a last second winner like that. But I think in the back of his head, he knew that if they would have lost this game or drew this game, that it was on him because he fucked up. So I think it was kind of cool to see him out there celebrating, like, hey, you saved my ass. But yeah, no one thought McTominay was going to be the hero. I mean, not even himself probably. But still, I mean, to have to wait until the 90th minute and then stoppage time to get a goal against Brentford, who in there, let's give them some credit. their shape and their back line and their game plan, they were a fortress to break down. Like United was struggling until like the last 10 minutes when they were throwing everything they had at them. Brentford was a fortress. Their shape and the way they defended was really, really fun to watch. Frustrating, but it from a keeper perspective and looking at it from a defensive perspective, it's really cool. But I'll take the win. I'm not convinced that this is gonna. The answer goes, this might spark United season going forward. I don't think so. I think we still have a lot to figure out. So,
were you guys home or away here?
Home.
I feel you guys have been home a lot early.
I feel like they've been home a lot.
Yeah, we have been.
Right? Because I feel like a lot of the conversations on the pod have been like, they drop points at home. I feel like, we're only 8 weeks in. I guess maybe it's been 5-3 maybe. Yeah.
Here's my question for Brian.
Hopefully I have an answer for you.
You signed 2 goalies this window.
Yeah.
Onana and the Turkish kid, not even going to try. Too many consonants.
I appreciate the effort.
From Fibonacci. Onana goes to the Africa Cup of Nations in January.
Yeah.
He's not playing particularly great now. When do you start throwing this kid, the 25-year-old Turkish guy from Fibonacci, in the mix? When you going to give him some cup games? You don't really. If Onana's your one, you don't really want to play in the Champions League. You need to win there. Where is he getting time? Because if Onana does go away, I know he said a statement that he's 100% focused on getting back on track with United right now.
When is the Cup of Nations?
It starts January.
January.
January 13th, I think.
Yeah. I think you get him in a cup game or two, right? League Cup, FA Cup, whatever you can. Again, Champions League, maybe not.
All right, so you have the EFL Cup November 1st against Newcastle. You play in there, clean sheet. You guys walk away with a 1-0 win. Is he your number one now? If Onana keeps playing the way he's playing,
there's a keeper that they were saying they should have signed. His name is David something.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah,
the Spaniard, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
He's on a free actually. Isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, David. Is it?
No. It's not. It's not. It's David, I think.
Spanish. It's just the inflection.
Yeah.
David. And there's a space in between his last name sometimes, right?
It's like
capital. It's like multi-capital.
Yeah.
I
heard he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Back in his day.
I'll take him.
At least better than Onana was back.
Yeah. No.
Back today.
I think probably. Yeah. In the beginning of November, you get him in some games. Listen, their last game in October is going to be against City. But then they go, they're going to play Fulham, they're going to play Luton, they're going to play Everton, and that's 3 games in a row. So if you can get him some Premier League time then in November and maybe kind of get his feet wet, get him going, maybe a cup game here and there too. Listen, if Onana goes away and this kid's playing well, he's the one. I don't care how much he spent on Onana. I don't care the hype that he had coming in. It's whoever's playing better should start in this game. And right now, Onana's not it. Look at the results. That's all.
All right, Garrett, you got anything else?
No, I was just going to go on to the next game, which was one of the most boring games I've ever watched in my entire life.
And
should we just tell a score and then just move on?
It was honestly one of the most boring games I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, so Palace and Forest, 0-0.
It was like Nottingham had a ton of shots, couldn't score. Palace had a few good chances, couldn't score. Battled in the middle of the field a lot.
Possession was 50-50 pretty much.
Yeah, it was just
everything was just even and nothing happened.
There was a lot of half chances, but nothing like that.
Nah.
I was just oh, look, that could have been a goal.
So that was fun. Next game?
Yeah, honestly. Sorry, Palace and Nottingham fans, if you're listening, but this game was not.
We got one more game.
It wasn't like there's been 0-0 games we've talked about that have been exciting 0-0 games. Yeah. This was just not one of them.
We got one more for the Saturday slate, right?
No, that was it.
No,
Everton.
Everton Bournemouth.
That one?
Yeah, Everton Bournemouth. Everton.
Sorry, Everton fans as well. You won. I don't want to give your time here.
Everton win this one at home, 3-0. Jack Harrison hit is this the game where he hit a fucking banger?
He chipped the goalie. Neto punched the ball twice in a row on 2 different serves, and then Jack Harrison said Neto's going to keep coming out and just going to chip him from 25 yards out.
Yeah, this is the one
on a half volley chip. It was a great goal.
It was a good finish. I remember seeing that one back because I tried to watch all the goals for the weekend, and I think he might have been able to hold the second one that he punched away. I thought he should have held the second one.
I thought he should have held, or at least tried to hold. Excuse me.
Oh my God, this shambles over there.
I thought he should have tried to hold, or have held. I'm done. I'm not talking about this game.
I think he should have held the first one. I'm sorry, the second one. See, now you got me all fucked up.
Oh, God, this
He
is terrible.
I think I'm having a stroke.
He should have held the second one, or at least attempted to. He did not. And at this point, he was he was almost outside right on the PK spot, maybe even further. And it fell nicely to Harrison outside the 18. I forget how far out it was. It's on a half volley, and yeah, like at the end of the day, it's an open net, but you do have to get it up and over all those bodies in the 18, have enough arc on it where no one can get ahead to it.
Yeah,
It's sick goal. I mean, good on him.
I think Jack Harrison's going to be good for Everton, given some more playing time.
Yeah, I agree.
he's only 26.
Yeah. I said
Yeah,
more playing time.
we all.
Oh, I thought you said. All right, my bad. That's on me.
Yo, is
What
he
do you
okay?
think
Is
I
he
said
okay?
more?
Is he fucking good? Should we
Did
get?
you have a stroke?
Should we call an
No, I'm
ambulance?
fine. Shut up.
Should
Um,
we call an ambulance?
No.
Okay. I ain't giving him CPR. Mouth to mouth will do though. Anyway, yeah, things just got wild over here. It's Friday night. We're filming up. We're recording on a Friday today. We never do that. You want to know who I didn't think looked awful in this game?
Do tell.
I think Calvert-Lewin didn't play terrible.
Just got back.
Yeah. So I'm saying for one of his first games back, like he went 83 minutes. Not bad.
He played 90 against Luton.
Yeah.
Yeah, the week before.
Yeah, but it's the second game back.
No, then he played Wednesday against Villa. He played 72 minutes. This is not like
Why do we?
his second week back.
Why do we think?
Then he's been playing since like
He just hasn't scored. We kept saying,
Why do you think
is he
he
the
was hurt?
same since injury?
he scored in the last 3 games. He scored in
Why?
Brentford on the 23rd, Villa on the 27th, Luton on the
Why do I think
30th.
he was hurt?
This is the first game he hasn't scored in 1, 2, 3, 4 games.
I don't know why that was hurt.
But
we're
that
not-
was also the span of like a week and a half. I
It
guess
was the
Maybe
span
I'm
of a
thinking
week and
2
a half.
episodes
Yeah, that's
back.
fair.
We talked about him being injured again.
But for him not scoring this game, I thought he played really well. I thought he got himself in a lot of good positions. He held the ball pretty well in this game too, which I think that kind of play suits him a lot more than just kind of getting it behind defenders, holding up the ball, laying it off, and then kind of peeling off and making that run.
I think it's nice that he can do both.
Yeah,
It's always nice when you have
he's
a striker that can do both.
He's a pretty solid, well-rounded forward. I don't know. I've always liked him for some reason, so I think he played well in this one. And then other 2 goals were Decore and Gardner for Everton.
That Decore goal fucked me in fantasy, by the way.
Did it? That blows.
Sucked ass.
So I got a question. All right.
Are Everton consistent? No.
Well, yeah. So what do we think, or what do you guys think has to change? Is there a certain player? Is there a style? Like, what has to click for them to be consistent? Because when they're on, they're fun to watch and they're a pretty solid team. But when they're off, holy shit, they're fucking off. So what do you guys think? Like, is it a tweak in a formation? Is it like a play style, like a player? What do you guys think might have to just click for Everton to be more consistent? Like, I feel like I've been saying this for the past 3 years. Do you guys have any ideas on what it might be?
I think they need a forward. I think they need not these subpar forwards that they're getting, whether it was Damari Gray or Neil Mopay or the guy they just got. I'm slipping on his name. Sorry. Beto. I think they need a pretty solid number 9, whether it be someone like Calvert-Lewin, like Ollie Watkins, like Mikel Antonio, who's going to put in a shift of a solid 7 or 8, and every once in a while they'll have a 9 performance. Every once in a while they'll have a 6 performance. They need that guy to lead the line.
I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at their next 8 or 9 games, and they realistically could lose every single one of them.
Everton?
Yeah.
Read
Who
them
do
off.
they got?
They have Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah.
They have
Dead.
West Ham at London Stadium.
Dead.
They have Brighton at home at Goodison.
Nope.
This is one they could get points from. They have Palace
Fair.
at Sellers Park. Then they have Man United.
Yeah, we stink.
That's a toss-up at this rate, sadly. They have Forest at home. I think Forest is a way better team.
They're way to Forest.
I meant, sorry, Forest is home against Everton.
Yeah.
Then they have Newcastle.
Oh.
Then they have Chelsea.
Oh.
and then they have Burnley.
And then Tottenham right after that. Yeah.
Tottenham and City. Are
Yeah,
after
that runs them to the end of
Jesus
December.
Like-
Christ.
So, I mean, realistically, out of those games, for what we've seen this season, they could get points out of. They could possibly win 2 and get points from 3, barring, obviously, results are not given. But, so.
Yeah, I don't think just getting a forward is going to help them there. So
I just think they need someone. They need someone with an identity up top, and the replacements they brought in for Calvert-Lewin over the years have not been it. Because outside of that, they don't really have a terrible team. They've got Tarkovsky. They've got England's number 1 in net. They've got
which is still mind-boggling to me, by the way.
yeah, Gardner looks good. Onana's good.
How fucking old is Ashley Young?
Ashley Young's ancient, but I do love him from his time at
Fucking
Villa.
old is he? Yeah, I mean he was United for a while too. He's fucking. He's 38. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's pretty old. Honestly, good for him. He still plays at a decent level for being 38 years old.
Yeah, but I'm saying fucking retire, man. Holy shit.
All right. Anything else on this one?
Nah, Saturday's done.
And moving on.
Sunday. First game. Pretty fucking fun. Sunday had some good fucking games.
I was unfortunately not able to watch on Sunday because I was attending a charity walk, so I'm going to have to let you guys talk about most of these games until we get to probably the one that I got to watch a little bit of, sadly.
I caught glimpses of one. I watched the other 2.
I watched 3 of them, so I'm really hoping you guys watch the one I didn't watch.
Which one? All right, let's start with Liverpool-Brighton.
I did watch that one.
Okay, I caught glimpses of this.
Okay, what a freaking game. As a neutral, this is everything you want, end-to-end, a lot of stuff going on. You know, the managers looked fired up. The players looked fired up. De Zerbi got a yellow card. It was craziness. I loved every second of it.
Tomato sauce everywhere.
This game could have ended 4-4. It looked like nobody wanted to play defense. Everybody wanted to go forward. Brighton looked really, really strong off the front foot.
I would like to point out it couldn't have ended 4-4 because Brighton only had 3 shots on target.
No, they missed that one sitter. Pedro missed from 6 yards out. He skied over the bar.
Telling you.
All right, whatever, you jackass.
You're a dick, and you know it. You're such a dick, and you know it.
Listen, if I can't put an insight, I got to make a stupid comment.
That's fair play.
So if they all would have shot shots on target and goalies were not there, it could have been 4-4.
Well, if they were all on target, then they would have actually had 28 goals, 14 each, because they both had 14
I'm gonna
shots.
throw something at you.
So then all of them were on goal, and there was no goalies. It would then have been 14-14. It would have been a hell of a game.
I think I'm gonna go home. I don't think I want to be here anymore.
This pod is shambles today.
You
This is why we do these on Mondays after the weekend.
Yeah. After a long week of work, and then if you see what happens when Dan's not here either, everything just goes to shit.
Marsh playing outside back, which I thought was so interesting, but I like that he got up and Gross kind of tucked in a little bit. So it's almost like Gross was there when they didn't have the ball and Marsh was deep, but when they had the ball, Gross held deep and Marsh got forward, which I thought was great. Shoot, I lost my notes. Oh, there they are. Pedro looked like Nicholas Jackson. He kept getting into great spots, but he just couldn't find that final finish.
Oh.
We love a random dig at Chelsea. Love
Yeah,
that.
fuck
Love a
that.
random dig
Fuck
Chelsea.
that team.
Did you guys see the penalty?
Did not.
So
I feel like I did. Who got tripped up?
I think it was, I forget who got fouled. I think it was either Elliott or Nunez.
It was me.
But basically, Brighton are trying to play out of the back just after like a risky little almost goal. And the goalkeeper, he just passes this hospital ball, gets pickpocketed, and he brings the guy down. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And it was a clear-cut foul. I didn't think there was any argument there. There was totally an argument for a handball. Did everybody see the handball on Van Dijk?
Oh, this I did see.
Yeah. And then
No.
Brighton's admin tweeted, "We want a replay," which I
That's
thought was
hilarious.
hilarious. I mean, yeah, listen, it's a handball. I think it's a handball. It's a tough call, though, because of where it is on his body. The photo makes it look worse than it
Any
actually
still
is.
photo always looks worse than the actual in play live.
Yeah,
view.
like the photo makes
Oh,
it
you
look
bitch.
like he's basically elbowing it out, but in live, it doesn't look as bad.
moves and it hits his elbow.
Jesus Christ!
the problem
that was
is
so
that
loud in my ears.
The problem is that it changes. He's shooting on target and it goes out for a corner. It's like, yeah.
I'm just trying.
By the way,
to-
for anyone that's not watching, or Brian's trying to find the video, and that's why he keeps saying random comments.
Yeah. I honestly think they should
So-
be given.
This is the image of it. I can't get the video for some reason. Every time I find it, it's not available in your country. But it's away from his body.
Yeah, I think they should have given it.
I think it should have been given. Listen, I've seen the same exact situation be called, and I've seen it not be called.
Consistency at its finest from the
Yeah.
referees of the Prem.
Yeah.
And
so
then, Gravenberch hits the crossbar. Pedro misses an absolute sitter. It was end-to-end stuff with just enough controversy that I wasn't boiling. And as neutral, I love this game. This is a game I could watch over and over and over again and be happy with.
So it wasn't boiling. Was it sizzling?
It's like when you go out to like
Fucking
Applebee's and you get
comment.
one of those
You get
sizzlers.
the fajitas? The fajita
sizzlers. You know what I'm talking
man,
about.
fire. Absolute fire.
So good. We should go to Half Apps. Oh, and it's dollar margaritas now.
Our next episode is going to be filmed live from
Applebee's. We're going to be hammered up margaritas and Half Apps. Anybody else got? I mean, I'm just touching on the overarching themes.
all
Of
right,
this
fuck
game.
it. I'm gonna turn to this kid. Hey, besides half apps and $1 each, you know what they have? It's like $12.99. All you can eat.
Brian, this is a football podcast.
You keep it serious.
I'm done. No, I'm fucking leaving. By the way, it's like
Why are you talking about drinking and eating?
seriously.
all you can eat boneless wings.
All right, I just touched the overarching sort of things that happened in this game. Does anybody else have anything else on this?
So what I got from this game was
There's
fun,
$1 margaritas.
fun game. Refs inconsistent. Let's end now and go to Applebee's.
We can't. We have loyal fans that have to listen to us. talk
And
about it.
next game.
Newcastle, West Ham. Another 2-2.
They have 2-2 draws.
draw. Yeah. I'll say it. Isaac fucks. Isaac. What did I say? Is it Isaac?
Yeah, I think the only person that put him in our top 3 strikers list last week was Dan.
He
I believe.
fucks.
Did I put him? No, yeah, Dan. I think I put him. I didn't have him in my top 3.
Yeah.
He has done a very good job, I will say. Did he get hurt in this game or
I
after this game?
don't remember.
Talk. I'm gonna look it up.
He did come off in the 86. I don't know what for. But yeah, another pretty fun game. Again, I don't think it was as, intense and entertaining as the Liverpool-Brighton game. But again, as a neutral, anytime you see 4 goals, it's always pretty fun, especially when you get, a team losing early on. They come back, they take a lead, and then, West Ham come back again, and they tie things up late for the draw. But Kieran Trippier played out of his fucking mind.
He's been playing great the last 3-4 weeks.
He's playing pretty solid defensively. But getting forward, my God, is this guy a fucking menace? He could take players on. He could swing the ball in the box. I think, I can't remember if it was Isaac had it was almost like a tap in at one point where I think it was Trippier just kind of swung a ball in. I want to say it was from the left side. It just kind of curled right into his path, and he just was there. Just maybe PK spot, top of the 6, just to guide it in. But God damn, Trippier is fucking good.
He did leave this game with a groin injury, which had to pull him out of Sweden's camp for October.
Oh,
But
so
it's not serious. They said he might be. Well, I hope it's not serious. Didn't seem serious. He might be back after international break. But he did. I thought he came out in this game. He did came out with the injury.
yeah. And we're talking about some Newcastle players on the other side of this game. West Ham, again.
I would say it's a good result for West Ham. I mean, I know they're home, but
No, it is a good result for West Ham.
Newcastle just fucking demolished PSG midweek. Like,
No, I know. But what I'm saying is West Ham is another team where I just, for some reason, I just can't get a read on them, I feel like they're another team that I feel like when they're on, they could be like pretty good, but then they could see too much. Like I said, I'm trying to.
I think they've had a great start to the season.
Yeah, but I feel like I just can't get a read. I mean, again, you're looking back at the teams they played. I mean, to beat Chelsea 3-1 and Brighton 3-1, but then you kind of drop points at Bournemouth. I expected a better performance against Luton, if I'm being honest, but I don't know. I always feel like West Ham should be, I feel like, better than the results show.
I mean, they were fighting relegation last year.
And
their 2 losses this season are against Liverpool and City. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but I always feel like they should have more. I don't know why.
I mean, they lost Declan Rice. I mean, they brought in Ward-Prowse, but...
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, Anyone have anything else in this game?
I'm just waiting for Clayton to explode that Villa tied Wolves.
All right. Wolves and Villa. Here we go.
I'm okay with this result. I'm satisfied with it.
We're gonna freak out.
Listen,
Come on.
Happy with ties. Can you believe them?
What a losing mentality.
Fucking cheering for a draw. What a
we always
pussy.
play shitty at
Always. What?
Always.
Oh, what do you mean?
at.
Hey,
Molyneux.
should I keep interrupting like you interrupted me?
I'm just gonna unplug his shit.
I'm the one sitting at the computer.
We always play shitty at Molyneux, so I was like, anything but a loss here, I'd be okay with. And I was watching the game. We had plenty of chances to put them away, and exactly what happened. Pedro Neto, who's way too good to be on that team, splits Torres, and I don't think Torres had a bad game. I don't think he defended poorly against Neto, but there's a little deflection there, and it kind of sets it right up for Hwang, and it's like, shit, that's just kind of unlucky. And we had a ton of opportunities we didn't put away. Torres had a great ball that I think was crossed in by Douglas Luiz. And then when they go down to 10 guys, I'm like, okay, we're totally getting all 3 points here. I was like, I'm okay with one, but we're totally getting all 3. And Watkins literally hit the post on the last play of the game.
Oh, there 14 minutes of extra time in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I
Was that the game where you said your heart rate was like freaking out?
my heart rate was pretty high. I'm not gonna lie.
I think when we texted us the group, you're like, this is too much for me right now.
Well, because at this point I was like, we need 3 points, and we were putting on such great pressure. And I really liked the way we lined up, where it was a makeshift 4-4-2 that converted into 3-4-2. I'm sorry, a 3-4-3. When we had the ball, where Cash would push forward, and it was Konza, Carlos, and Torres in the back three, and then Cash, Digne, Kamara, and Luiz in the center. And I really like that, because then he kind of gave Diaby license to go forward, which he hasn't really, since with all the injuries, I feel like he's been kind of restricted, so he hasn't played as well lately. On some bad news, Kamara and Diaby, we don't know about their fitness because of
Not great.
playing so much. Don't love that. Zaniolo could be getting in trouble for illegally gambling.
Also not
don't
great.
love that.
Right.
I think Tonali forced him to do it. You know, that was Newcastle.
Sounds
boys.
like
You
someone
can't
that would
trust them.
say something that doesn't like Newcastle people.
No. And Tielemans probably wants to leave now because he's not getting any playing
I
time.
mean, if you're him, why would
Yeah, why would you want to
He's
say?
playing like shit. He's playing terribly.
Not
Every
bad.
time he gets on the field, he's like the worst guy out
Well,
there.
yeah, bad manager, bad system. Yeah, of course he wants to leave.
Oh, sorry, what place are you in?
It's got a point.
Honestly, though, all together, I don't think Wolves look particularly threatening. I thought we
I
looked.
think Wolves are always very threatening.
I thought we were the better team the whole game. I'm
They're
not
like-
even dignifying that with a response. I
They're
thought
like-
we were the better team.
They're like
the whole
giant dogs
game.
with like fangs and stuff.
And
Thank you for watching. It's been Brilliant Pines.
we're
Find us
not
on all
done.
social-
We're not done. And I'm happy with the 1 point there. Looking on to next week, I think that. Oh, sorry, next week. Looking on to after the international break, I think that we got West Ham next, and then Luton, and then Forest. I mean, anything less than 6 points from anything less than 7 points in those 3 games, I'm going to say 2 wins and a
Ooh,
tie.
that's,
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
Like, listen, you're playing a team in the relegation zone. You're playing Forest, who, if we are where we want to be, we should be beating.
Forest is sneaky, I think.
And we're playing West Ham at home. So, come on. 7 points, 3 games. Let's do it, boys.
Remember when you guys lost to Newcastle by like 7?
Shh. Week 1 doesn't count. It's still preseason.
Before we get into the Arsenal-Man City game, and luckily Dan's not here to say anything, so I'm happy about that. I just thought of something. Like, anyone like watching this on video is thinking like, what temperature is it in this room? Because Brian's in a t-shirt and shorts, you're in a sweatshirt and shorts, and I'm in sweatpants, sweatshirt, and slippers.
that's a fair point.
If
Yeah.
anyone's wondering, by the way, it's a nice, mean 68 degrees in here.
I can't.
But the window's open over here.
You
Yeah,
shut the
it's-
window.
Oh, I did shut the window.
No. Oh wait, yeah, you did.
It's on video.
Oh.
All right. Moving on.
All right, let's go to this one. Last game, Man City at Arsenal, 1-0 in favor of the Gunners. Garrett, how you doing?
I mean, it was a good game. I mean, it's not like it was a pretty limited chances. Arsenal looked pretty good. Arsenal's center backs played phenomenal in this game. disrupting Haaland in his runs. When the lineups came out, Dan texted me and he's like, "Oh, what do you think?" And I was like, "I really don't love that like Ake is starting as a center back." And fast forward 86 minutes into the game, he gets fucking rocked in the face for a goal.
Yeah, but he can't do anything about that.
He could move his face
He tried to block it. You got to give
with his face.
Maybe.
I'll tell you what. If there's a way to lose, that's such a fucking funny way to lose by the ball deflecting off your face and going in the net.
Yeah, it was a tough one to watch. But I think Saliba and Gabriel did a great job of just disrupting and getting Haaland off his game. He didn't have too many touches in this game, which is, I guess, what you want if you're a center back pairing for their striker. It wasn't even like City dominated possession. They didn't. It was like 50-50 almost. I think we had 1% more, granted, depending on what app you look at. I was shocked that they started, I think Dan said the same thing, that they started in the midfield. Oh, my God.
Rico Lewis?
No, Jorginho. Jesus. I was talking about Arsenal stats.
Oh, yeah.
Jorginho started and Nketiah started for Arsenal. So that was a little bit of a surprise. But, yeah, I mean, it was a good game. It's a good game against two of the top teams in the league, and Arsenal finally gets the monkey off their back who've been playing City in the league. I think City just lacked creativity in this game. They couldn't get anything going forward. We had Bernardo Silva playing as a fucking holding midfielder, so that didn't really help our creativity purposes.
No, it didn't.
So what you're saying is you're nothing without De Bruyne.
No, I'm not saying that, but I mean when you have one of your most creative players playing a holding mid, basically you missed Rodri. You missed Rodri in this game, which would allow Bernardo to go forward, to be creative. I mean, Rico Lewis, who is normally a defender who plays that, extra back into the midfield role, starts in the midfield today when this game played.
Sunday.
Yeah, I just think we were just missing that extra piece of creativity against a good team. Shout out to Arsenal. They kept pressure on. They scored a late goal. And, it's going to be a big one for the title race. But, they were at home, so hopefully we get the return leg.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about the yellow cards for Kovacic.
I was on your guys' side, so it's not like I'm going to argue the other way.
First one should have been a red. Second one should have been the second yellow if it's not a red.
I will say
fucking terrible.
I don't think.
Well,
I wouldn't say it's an obvious auto red, but I said regardless, he should have gotten at least two yellows and they were within minutes of each other. So it wasn't like
the fact that Pep had the audacity to throw him back on for the start of the second half. I was like, you got to sub him out now, right? Because he's technically so it should be done.
But hear me out. I mean, at that point, you're either going, I guess, Nunez, or you're putting in fucking Calvin Phillips.
Over under. I mean,
Nunez is a good option, but Phillips has just basically been a waste of a roster spot for the last 2 years.
Over under $5,000. How much they pay the refs to get away with that?
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much considering they lost. Had they won that game,
oh, fair.
I watched who's the ref that does the
the Sky on Sky. I watched the same thing.
I can't think of his freaking
who is
name.
that?
But they were comparing the Kovacic tackle to the
Gusto
tackle from the Chelsea one, and basically what his like ultimate thing that came down to was like Kovacic's leg was like on the ground when he spiked him in the ankle, and that was the difference. It's basically what the overall.
I thought it was his explanation was terrible.
Yeah.
The fact that wasn't a red card was terrible. The fact that it wasn't his second yellow was terrible.
I mean, I said it in the group chat. Like, I really looked at it and go, should be off. Like, I thought you could argue it. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't argue it. At this
point in the season, I am so anti-VAR, it's not even funny.
I'm not even, like, anti-VAR. I'm just, like, it's still human error consistency.
I'm anti-ref right now. They suck this year. It's just been
this is the we talk about it every week, but this has been one of the years where it's like every game we come to, it's just like
they're normally like it's been like you said like every other week every third week we have something to bitch about the refs. It's every single fucking week at this point that there's something getting fucked up, and I'm done with it. So whatever.
Sad Dan didn't give us any notes to say on his behalf, but I'm sure
he did.
Very happy. He did.
Yeah, he texted me some notes.
Oh.
Ha ha ha, Garrett. Fuck you. We're better. Suck a dick.
So that's a lie.
That seems made up.
Yeah, of course it's a fucking lie. He would never say suck a dick. He said suck my ass.
GG's to Arsenal. It was a good game.
Match week 8 in the books. There is our recap. Like I said, we are recording this on a Friday.
Friday the 13th, actually.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Ooh. So.
I will take Dan's option for the fantasy recap because he is not here.
Yeah.
So we have a top 5 that involves 6 players because 5 and 6 were tied. So at top of the week, we had Raheem Sterling with 30 points in fantasy, 1 goal, 2 assists, 1 key pass. Then we had Isaac, 26.5 points, 2 goals, 4 successful crosses. Kind of funny as a guy who plays as a striker had 4 successful crosses.
Hey, give him.
Salah had 26 points with 2 goals and some other stats. Willian had 26 points with 1 goal, 3 key passes. Decore, this motherfucker, 23.5 points, 1 goal, 2 key passes. And then Jack Harrison with 23.5 points, 1 goal, 1 assist.
All right.
Now it's everyone's favorite part of the week. Who am I? Dun, dun, dun.
This is tough.
Shall we just tell the? Are we? I don't think we're doing. We're not doing next week's games, right? It's international break.
Yeah, we're gonna skip next week's
Yeah,
games.
we'll
We're just
do
gonna
it.
roll
We'll
right
find
into it.
So if you were wondering, hey, where's the preview of it? Nah.
Well, we've been doing the Who Am I in between to break up just, us rambling as
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
All right, ready? So who am I? Are we ready, folks?
Ready.
I have $1 margaritas.
Always.
All right. That's one
Fuck
brought to
yeah,
Brian.
I'm on the
Okay.
board, bitch.
All right, ready? Who am I?
Not sponsored, by the way.
I was born in Belfast.
Yeah, I got none.
I think I know.
No, I want to hear this.
All right, go.
No, call your shot.
Are you Scott McTominay?
I'm not.
I just
fuck
figured.
you.
I was born January 3rd, 1988.
So he's
25.
1980.
That is incorrect math.
Oh, 88. I'm sorry. I thought you said 98.
dunce. Yeah, I got none.
I've played for Royal Antwerp and Sunderland.
This is a current player?
Current player in the Prem.
I assume he's not playing for Sunderland still.
Well, not.
That would not be in the Prem.
Okay.
Dude,
But he
this
went
kid's
from
had a
Sunderland.
At some point, he has played for Royal Antwerp and Sunderland.
Are those the only other 2 teams he's played for?
No.
Okay. I wish you gave us all the teams he played
Yeah.
for.
These
Just
are
giving us
the,
two
these are the
random-
early clues.
Just giving us 2 random teams he played for. What?
Carry on.
I've scored 4 Premier League goals for Manchester United
This season or in general?
in my career.
Is he still at Manchester United?
That's not one of my clues.
You fucker. Next.
I play for Northern Ireland internationally.
Johnny Evans.
It is Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
That took way too
As
long.
soon as you
As
said
soon as Belfast and Man U, I feel like that was
as
a dead
soon as you
giveaway.
said the 4 goals, I was like, I think it is, but I wanted one more to be sure. And then you said Northern Ireland. You beat me to it.
I'm an
The
idiot. I thought Belfast was Scotland. That's why I said McTominay.
yeah, I was so
I'm
thrown off by
fucking
that, I didn't
stupid.
even react.
Yeah.
But the other hints were, I just said Clints, not hints. The other hints were,
Where's
we're
the
number
Clint?
35. I'm 6'2", and I'm a center back currently for Manchester United.
There you go. We would have got there.
I would have. If you're going to be giving us some history on the player, don't just drop 2 teams on us like I would have fucking.
Well, I dropped the
gotten
2
that.
most random teams.
Yeah, I was
there
like,
actually
what?
there actually wasn't a lot. That might have been the only other 2 teams that were on there. To be honest, he played a lot for United, and then other than Leicester, West Brom was on there as well. But that was it. The only teams I didn't list were Leicester, West Brom, and then the last one was going to be United.
Huh. All right. What else on the docket?
All right. Well, here's the docket. We have overrated or underrated one more time.
Yeah.
We have 2 players on the list this week. I will ask the first one. It's an interesting topic. A polarizing figure, some would say. Overrated or underrated, Mr. Harry Maguire.
Okay, so Slabhead is overrated as shit. We're just going to start with that. I don't think, besides the assist that he had, this past week, hasn't done anything for United. He lost his starting spot. I mean, with injuries, he's getting back into the lineup. But, I mean, when he plays, at least for United, I mean, and this is what throws me off a little bit. We'll get there. When he plays for United, he makes so many mistakes. He's always losing marks. He can't play the ball in the back. He's just doing the most insane, stupid things. But then, for some reason, when he pulls on that England kit, he actually looks like a pretty competent center back. I don't know if it's the way they play as a team or the players around him. But when he pulls on the England kit, I'd be like, you know what? He's a decently solid center back, and it's just weird. But overall, especially, in the Premier League, it's even weird to say that he's overrated because he's just been shit for so long. But, yeah, he's insanely overrated.
Mr. Clayton.
Don't do it.
He's
going to fucking do it.
I think he's underrated.
I agree.
I think that he fell into the classic United trap of you paying way too much money for a decent player and then them not living up to the potential. Where if he was playing at like a West Ham or a Villa
or a Leicester City
or even a Brighton, and they worked him into the system, he would be amazing. He would have had an amazing center back career. He would have an amazing career. I think that he's just not the player for Manchester United, which is fine.
And you got to think too.
And that's why we all hate him, because he's not the player we wanted him to be.
West Ham was willing to
would
pay.
That make him overrated then?
No, because who rates Maguire right now in the whole world? Who rates Maguire?
That's why I just said it's even a little weird to say he's overrated because he's been so shit for so long.
Right, so that's why I'm saying at this point in his career, I think he is underrated because most people say he's a hack that couldn't hack it at Man U because he got paid 110
See,
million.
I was going like just I don't know, like overarching scheme of things, like he was just overrated.
I mean, West Ham was going to pay $35 million for him 2 months ago.
I would have fucking loved that.
I think that if he makes that move to West Ham, whether it was this season or the season before, you build him into the system where he doesn't necessarily need to be the main center back. He just has to get clean sheets and make tackles, and he isn't going to be so much highlight on him. And I think that's a little bit better. There's nothing wrong with saying that he probably doesn't do well under the spotlight, which is terrible to say because he's playing for England. But
yeah,
let's face it, how many of us at least rate England, the national team?
I mean, I would rate them. They just have a bad coaching system. I rate the players.
That's fair.
I don't rate the system.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair.
All right, we have one more. We've actually mentioned him earlier in the show. Mr. Jared Bowen of West Ham, ladies and gentlemen. Overrated or underrated?
You go first.
I'm going to go underrated again. I think that if he was playing for, and we said it earlier, I said, he could probably edge out Rashford if he was playing for a top 6 team, which I totally think he can do. We would be seeing his name in highlights everywhere. We would be seeing him called up for England much more often. I think that he's got the ability. Every time I watch him play, I'm impressed. He's got the skill. He's got the shooting ability. He's got the work rate. And I think the fact that he has as few England call-ups as he does is just because he plays for West Ham. If he played for any top 6 team, I think he'd be up there much more often. And he's got a European trophy.
Wait, we'll shout that out in case Aston
Yeah,
Villa win one.
Yeah, you know it.
Motherfucker.
You mean when we win it? Buy your tickets.
Mr. Swider. I don't know why I sounded like Waluigi there.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Nah, he's overrated.
Explain.
I think he's playing the way he is. And if he was with a bigger club, I don't think he'd be able to crack it. I think right now playing for a team like West Ham, who don't have, besides Ward-Prowse, they don't have like a oh my god roster. So yeah, if you're
I disagree. Bukatia was going to go to City for Buko bucks.
okay,
Define Buko.
yeah,
That's Buko is what I say when I don't know how much he was
Don't
going
know
to
the
go
number.
for. Antonio's a great forward.
That's great.
You're
At this point.
yeah,
great
no,
is
you're
stretch.
stupid. But I know I think if he's playing for a team like City or Arsenal or Liverpool, I think he starts, but I just don't think he gets the production that he is with West Ham. I think playing with Ward-Prowse recently has upped his game tremendously because Ward-Prowse he just makes everybody around him better. And I don't know. I mean, if he was, I mean, we talked about the England call-ups, but if he was that good, he would be up there playing more often. You can't fucking deny it.
You can. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Does not deserve an England call-up? Look how I make this about Aston Villa so fucking fast.
Hang on.
Konsa does not deserve a Villa call-up.
Time out. I missed that because you screamed, you peeked, and I have headphones on, so I didn't hear dick all. What the fuck did you just say?
That's not the argument I thought you were going to make. I mean, I get that you're a Villa fan.
Konsa doesn't deserve an England call-up. He's him, Boeing.
When the fuck did I bring up Konsa?
You didn't. You said that if he was as good as
he would get a call up
to get called up, you get called up more often. I think they both. I'm gonna rope Konsa in this.
I'm gonna add your point. I'm gonna add your point here.
Watkins also. I think all three of them.
Stop listing Villa players, so it's actually a fair point.
We're talking about fucking.
We're gonna again roast the England selection here. Calvin Phillips and Maguire have both been called up every England cycle, and neither of them has.
Jordan Henderson played today.
So, like, you can't use England selection as, like, the end-all, be-all, at least.
Then it looks like he's worse than those players.
What'd you say?
It looks like he's worse than those players if he's not fucking getting called up. I
mean, obviously not position for position. There's difference.
Yeah,
You're obviously battling with different players in England. You're not battling for Calvin Phillips. But I'm just saying England selection have been questionable at best.
Okay, how about this? Based strictly on this season.
Yeah.
Rashford or Boeing? Who do you call up?
Just do this?
No. Not in the best wingers, but who would you call up? You're Gareth Southgate. You have to call up one of those two. You can't take both of them. Squad's full. Who are you taking? Based on performance alone. I know Gareth Southgate doesn't do that, but based on performance alone from this season.
I have to base it off this season.
Off this season's performance.
See, I would say Rashford because he's been up there because he's good enough to be up there and he's done it before because Bowen's not good enough up there. However, based off the statistics, I guess you have to take Bowen.
5 goals and 1 assist.
You have to take. If we're basing it off the statistics, you have to take him. But that's not what they base it off of. Rashford's been there because he's been good enough to get called up. Bowen just hasn't. I don't tell you. I'm going to get roasted on TikTok and roasted on YouTube. I don't give a shit.
You know called up? Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, that guy fucks.
Fuck that
Call
guy.
him up. Call him up.
Fuck that guy. Fuck how many times he scores against us. Esri Konsa deserves a call up to the England national team, Gareth.
Yeah, because
I don't think he's one of our listeners.
He's fucking listening. You fucking.
All right, folks. That's been an hour, and I think we are ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're
here.
done.
I think I'm sweating.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching Premier League and Pints at League Pints on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. You can listen anywhere you get your podcasts. Also, Premier League and Pints, we post the whole
I thought
episode.
Funny. We always
YouTube.
say where they can listen, but they're listening to it already. So like they found it somehow.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, but what if their friends like they're not like a Apple Podcast person, someone else? Then they can be like, hey, just so you know, they are on other platforms. Keep interacting with us on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram. We appreciate all the likes, all the downloads, all that fun stuff. And we miss Dan so much.
We're going to go get dollar margaritas.
Yeah, we're going to get blasted. See you next time.
See ya.